Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and now you might think this guy is really going too far, making videos about some piece of dirt on the ground. Well, this piece of dirt is a fruit, and right now here in Singapore, basically in all of West and East Malaysia, it's not the fruit season, and so I don't have a lot of big juicy tasty fruits to review. So yeah, in a way I am scraping the bottom. This is really the worst muck at the bottom of the bucket. But you should never ignore such stuff if you are a forager. If you find something that looks like the remnant of a big fruit, or even the flower of a big fruit, or even the leaves of a species with big or tasty fruit, or even the stem, or even a leaf floating in a river or in a lake, if you know that it's from a plant you can use, you should never ignore this. Because every forager has a mental map of the area where they are foraging. Well, I have already mental maps of many thousands of areas where I'm foraging. Areas in Europe, in Africa, in America, in Asia, in basically Oceania, you can say. A lot of those maps I might have forgotten most of the details, like I haven't been in America for many years, 6-7 years now. But still, the maps are in my brain, maybe with a lot of less details. And in those maps are not only the tasty fruits I foraged, but also the stuff I found which suggests that there's gonna be fruits or some other resource I can use at some time. This is how foraging works. Actually, every animal has the same sort of mental map. Where the tastiest grass is, where the best fruits are, where the tastiest prey animals used to live. And when you find some traces of something, even if it's out of season and not edible at the moment, you should always explore it. I found this thing, which looks disgusting. At first I wasn't even sure if it's not a piece of an animal. Then I saw the peduncle. I was sure this is some sort of fruit. I opened it, and the stuff I see inside looks like stamens. Stamens inside the fruit? That's strange. Well, I think I also see seeds. So the yellow stuff are stamens, the reddish stuff here at the right are seeds. Well, it smells a bit fruity, at the same time like medicine and also aromatic, a very interesting combination. So what is it? Seeds and stamens inside the fruit? Well, in this case it's not a fruit, it's a, what was it called? Syncopium. Basically it's something like a fig. A fig is not a fruit, but a hollow piece of stem filled with flowers. And this seems to be some sort of fig or fig relative, filled with male and female flowers. That's interesting, because most fig relatives are edible. And this thing, it could have been soft and sweet enough when it was in season. Yeah, here a couple seeds which are sticking to the outside. Oh, here. One is even sticking to my thumb. Oh yeah, the rind smells really nice. It smells of wax, beeswax. Well, not exactly like typical beeswax, but very similar. Good smell. So now that we established that this is some big fig relative, maybe even a fig, because it's enclosed in this leathery skin. Most fig relatives here, like the Artocarpus and so on species, they don't have such a leathery smooth skin. Now we leave this here and start researching around. I already did a bit of searching and found the second fruit. Well, I found it here and moved it. Second fruit is a good sign, because one fruit could have been brought here by some human or animal or water or whatever. But 2 fruits, the chance of them brought here is quite low. Let's look at this. This one is much drier. You can still see the leathery skin. Here it cracked open and you can see seeds coming out. Here you can see some white worms. Not so tasty. Okay, 2 fruits. Now the next step would be to look for more fruits. And when we find a couple fruits at one spot, to establish the tree where it comes from. Why is this important? Well, it's possible that some of the fruits will actually be in season. And then, even if they are not in season, maybe the tree will give us a hint what we are dealing with here. This is a tough one. But that's how foraging works, folks. You walk around, you are already here, you already have expended energy. It's not the fruit season. You know you are not going to find too much stuff. The chance that this tree will be edible at the moment is quite low. But still, you should invest a bit more energy into finding out what it is, where it is, and if it's actually useful since you are already here. Because otherwise you'll have to come here maybe for nothing. And also, while you are searching for the stuff, you might find some other nice and edible things. And also, it's not nice to have a lot of question marks on your mental foraging map. So I found something here, I don't know what it is, but it could be edible. It's better to know it's this and this species, it's this and this tree. They expect it to be ripe at this time. So right now, I'm investing a calculated amount of time and energy into this. Of course, whenever I'm hungry, I can go to the next restaurant and stuff my face. But if I was in a real foraging situation, not just a survival situation, but a hunter-gatherer who is in the jungle, this would be my sustenance. And then, yeah, I should really try to, with a little investment in time and energy, change this question mark on my mental foraging map here in Singapore to a definite thing. But for now, cannot find anything else. Just those 2 fruits. Let's look up. This tree is my main suspect. There seems to be some dry, some black lump up there. I cannot even say in which tree it is, but I guess it's not this one. This is a fig, but I don't think it has such big fruits. This tree here is my main suspect. So, next step. Yeah, imagine a fig-like fruit of this size. If it's in season and sweet and tasty, you can fill a basket or backpack with those things quite fast. So my working hypothesis is that this stuff is here somewhere. This is where I found the second fruit. I thought this is a third fruit, but actually it's just a piece of a twig. Oh, jungle chicken. I mean, those here look quite modern. I'm sure they are feral and not wild chickens. But this is like, you move around slowly, you look for stuff and you find a jungle chicken. If I was not a vegetarian and if I was in a real survival situation, this jungle chicken would be hunted now. So, straying off the path, hunting for fruits and imaginary hunting for jungle chickens. Bark, 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 bark. Bark, 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 bark. Oh, little lizard. Here is the jungle I guess, am I allowed to say cock? A cock is just a male chicken. Of course I'm allowed to say cock. Yeah, demonetize this YouTube. Oh, haha. Now we are talking business. I was afraid this video is getting too long, but look at that, folks. A freshly fallen fruit of that size. Wow. It might be rotten, but it might still be good. Here are 3 which are rotten. Confirms this big tree as our main suspect. Here is a second, more or less freshly fallen fruit. I have no idea what this is, folks. This looks like a giant wild fig. Look at this size, man. This totally looks like a fig, but look at this size. It's the size of a human fist. Wow. Let me put this away and carefully open this with both hands. Look at that. A giant fig. Male and female flowers inside. Let's try this. Smell is not too encouraging. Mix of flowery and medicinal smells. The rind is absolutely bland, but it has a trace of sourness, a trace of saltiness. We are less than 100 meters away from the sea here, and the trace of fig taste. Not a sweet, juicy fruit, but you can actually eat a lot of this stuff. Yeah, there is a lot of flesh on it. Wow. Unfortunately, the seeds, which could be quite good. Oh, ants are attacking me. Are trapped inside some matrix which doesn't taste as good as the rind. So the rind is absolutely bland, but at the same time it's soft, and I bet it has some nutritional value. Let's see. Must be this tree here. I'm pretty sure it's this tree. It's being attacked by some other fig, by some strangler. Here is the second fruit. It might not be the tastiest thing, but I always say figs and other things, you can put them in a curry. This one could totally add a lot of bulk to the curry. Even if you have to peel away the rind and discard the rest. Quite an interesting thing, folks. Good for survival. I would even nibble it outside of the fruit season. Yeah, it's not great, but it's good enough. And if I wanted to make a curry from wild figs, this would be one of my best bets. What do you think about this fruit, folks? What is it first, and second, would you use it for stuff? Please tell me. Oh my god, I have dozens of answers. Apart from that, stay tuned for a lot. By the way, did you see how long this video took? And until over the half of the video, I didn't know if it would become anything really good and useful. But I persisted, more or less because I already started. And at the end, that's the result, folks. A gigantic, a truly enormous jungle fig, and so many ants. So folks, tell me what you think about this giant jungle fig. Apart from that, stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful and incredibly biodiverse nature reserves of Singapore. And of course, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.